small business owner, you've likely heard of Amy Porterfield before. She is an online marketing expert with a really successful podcast, and she teaches courses in things like how to grow an email list, Facebook ads, webinars, and more. One of our YouTube subscribers suggested that we review her website, so we're going to do that today.
Yep, and make sure you stay to the end of the video where we're going to give a grade on the website overall. Let's get started.
First impressions of the site, I really like the image that she used. I like how it's very friendly and it's like, hey there, hi, I'm Amy. Like, if you listen to Amy's podcast, she's very bubbly and friendly. That's just kind of her personality, and I feel like this photo really captures who she is, so I really like that. Don't really like that pop-up at the top.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. So what is this pop-up? Powered by VWO? I don't know what that is. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. But this pop-up is a good example of what not to do when you have these sort of like opt-in pop-ups. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest red flags I see is it's covering your main navigation here. That's not good for user experience and for Google bots. Like when Google crawls your website, if you have a pop-up over your navigation, that's a problem. So not only that, but this pop-up to me, it doesn't match the branding of the rest of the website. It just looks like honestly a shady opt-in for some other website. Like I'm not going to click that.
Right.
That's me personally. I would never click this. Let's hit never.
I'll scroll down a little bit and take a look at some of the other stuff. She has her courses listed out. These are all the things that she talks about in her podcast and things that she offers to her clients, like how she used the images on that. Yeah,
you can tell that the branding and the photos were very well thought out.
Yeah,
it's laid out well. It's designed very professionally. So
yeah, it looks really nice. That's a great photo of her. Definitely showcases her personality. Mm-hmm. I like this with the arrow where it says top ranking and it has the podcast in the phone. That's a cool image. 1,700 5-star reviews. That's good credibility for her podcast.
Mm-hmm. So let's navigate back up here, and these big call to actions, we like to click on some of these to see what happens. So if you click on here, it has this big pop-up. So we like to be very aware of what's going in pop-ups when we design our client websites, because we see something like this and we opened it up in a mobile device. And as you can see, if we scroll down here on mobile, pop-ups on mobile are not user-friendly most of the time, especially when you have this much information in there.
Yeah, so, it works, but you have to scroll a little bit. It's not the best experience, and I understand the reason why she's putting that on her website, because she's trying to get people onto her email list, which is something that she teaches, so it's kind of like a practice what you preach thing.
Yeah.
But I think she could do it without using a pop-up, and it would be much more effective.
So, all right, so here's an example of multiple pop-ups on top of each other. This is the problem. So you have this original pop-up that we closed before, but this is a different browser. So you now have a pop-up on top of a pop-up. That's not good. We never do that on our client websites. We try to never do that. So let me just do a test. If you click here to get updates, it will pop up here. Okay, so that's a whole nother pop-up on top of everything else.
There's a lot of pop-up windows on this site. I get that you're trying to grow your business, grow your email list, but I think it can be done a little bit better.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that if you close that one out, this one is designed nicely. It fits with her overall brand, so I do like that.
Yeah. Okay, so these are the same thing, I believe. You just click these and they all do pop-ups. One thing that I did notice as a user, this is one of the first times I've been on the website, it's inconsistent with pop-ups to pages. So for example, if I click here, it goes to a different page.
Which looks like a blog post or something.
In my opinion, that's what I think would have been a better choice up here, is to go to another page here.
Right.
That's me personally, because as a user, it's confusing how some of these opt-in or call to actions are pop-ups and some go to pages. So I don't know. To me, that is just a bad user experience and inconsistent.
Okay. click around to some of the other pages.
Okay, let's go to the podcast page.
I love that picture of her. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a good way...
Oh, another pop-up.
I think that this is a good way to lay out a podcast page. A lot of people don't realize that you can just use your blog on your website for your podcasts. And I think this is done really well. So we have latest episodes, and if you click on those, I'm assuming it goes to, a page on the website. So she has everything transcribed, which is really nice. If you just want to read quickly what it is, if you can't listen to it at the moment, that's a great way to...
Yeah, so down here you can download it on iTunes, transcribe. Yeah, this is good. It's good to give your users multiple ways to, interact with your podcast content.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she has the player too.
Yeah, the player's good. Yeah.
Site. So that's a great way to lay out your podcast page. If you have a podcast, use your website and showcase your podcast on it.
Mm-hmm. So I clicked on the About page. So this is giving some stories.
I think this is great. It tells a story. Your About page definitely should tell a story, especially if you're a small business, because people don't know you as a big brand, so it's an opportunity for people to connect with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is great.
Yeah. Okay, so let me go back up to like tools, for example. So this is like a resources page.
Okay.
Let's see what we got here. So is this another opt-in? Another pop-up here? Yeah. So she wants you to sign up. That's the big thing. Yeah. Okay, so if I scroll down here, so this...
I don't understand why this is full screen. I don't think it needs to be a full screen thing.
Yeah, this feels inconsistent with the rest of the website.
But I think this is a good way to get affiliate links onto your website. These are all going to different affiliate programs that she's a part of. So I think this is a great way to showcase that you are affiliated with certain brands, but not be like overly salesy or pushy.
This seems a little odd down here. So this is the same tab system as up there, because I think it's changing up here. Yeah, that seems... I don't know if that's on there by mistake, but that doesn't seem right. So that was kind of a weird thing. Okay, so down here the whole time there was a cookies banner. We haven't accepted that, so I guess we got it. Mm-hmm. Okay. I didn't click anything again. It just popped up. So I don't know what happened there.
You might have clicked something. I don't know.
Okay, so she's got privacy policy. We do like to make sure that, even if you're a small business, this is something that we look for on every website. Mm-hmm. If you have a privacy policy, terms and conditions, if you're selling things.
Yeah, and she
also has a earnings disclaimer. Yeah,
which is something that you need if you are affiliated with certain programs. You have to disclose that you're making money if people click on links and sign up for programs. Yeah. So that's an important page to have.
All right, let's jump into how is it performing? Do we see any red flags or anything like that? So I ran GT metrics, and overall, this is a pretty well optimized website. This is a pretty good job right here. As you can see, performance is good, structure's good. She got an A overall. So if do scroll down here, there's always room for improvements. That's what we do in these videos. I like to always just kind of show some things that I see that could be improved. So there is a lot of JavaScript, and the homepage looks like it does have a video. So if you're not aware, when you do video, if your website's really slow and you have a lot of videos on it, that's the main, between images and videos, those are the two biggest resources that are going to cause a lot of performance issues. Mm-hmm. So, but overall,
she did a good job with optimizing. You can tell that she took that into consideration.
Yeah. I can tell that some of these images are a little heavily compressed. But overall, you want to make sure it's a trade-off. You want to have a fast website, you're going to have to start compressing your video or your images. So,
yeah.
All right. The next thing we look at is accessibility and whether you technically pass or fail. So we threw her website into a checker, and over here I have a Wave extension, which is a really good extension to check for accessibilities. So if we go back to a checker, there's
some problems.
Yeah, there's quite a few problems. So she did not pass accessibility technically. It looks like there's 54 known problems, and if you scroll down here, a lot of alt tags. That's that's usually where most people will fail, but there's also some issues with your radio buttons here, element text. So this needs some work.
It looks like there's some invalid code, and that could be with the things like the pop-ups and stuff. Maybe they're not coded for
a lot of times
standards.
Yeah, forms, you're going to fail if you don't have your forms set up correctly. So same thing under the Wave extension here. There's 12 errors, and so what's cool about this tool is you can actually start to look around the website. Here's that pop-up again. And anywhere that you see the red is where you're going to start to see the errors. So it looks like most of these errors could be actually at the form levels. So yeah, there's some work to be done here. So technically, accessibility, there's room for improvement for sure.
Yeah. Amy Porterfield's website is pretty good, but definitely has some room for improvement as far as accessibility standards go. And all the pop-ups are kind of intrusive and probably could be improved upon.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway on this is too many pop-ups. There's too many different ways that you're trying to force the user to engage with your content. Just let it flow. Put it on pages. You don't have to do pop-ups on top of pop-ups. But overall, we give amyporterfield.com a B.
That's it for today's website review. If you have a website you think we should review, leave a comment down below and we'll do it in a future video. If you like videos like this, give this one a thumbs up, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell for whenever we upload new videos. Bye!
See ya!